Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Advent Calendar. Today is December 6th and we're ready to open day 6. So here's day 6. Sorry for the glare. Let's see. Grab my trusty little ruler, slip it into the side. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do. Okay, this is a quote from Charles Dickens. I will do a little bit of Google Translate and I'll get back to you with what that says. So using Google Translate from German to English, it translates to, I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to pick it up all year round. So that's kind of an excellent thought. And just turn the light back on. So that's what that means. And it looks like it's a page with a little dog looking out a dog door into, probably he's on the outside, he's looking in to the house where we've got a boot and some garland around the page and some Christmas decorations. So it looks to me like it's a coloring page. So what I will do is go to my color palette, color cubes, and pick out a color palette, and then I'll be back to share you the color palette I chose for this picture. Okay, I pulled out my box number 1 from my color cube and I selected a palette number 180, which is a traditional kind of red and green color palette, and I thought that that would be great for here since we have a lot of leaves and we got a dog and we got some stuff going on. So then going to my color companion, let me turn the light off so it doesn't get some reflection there. I went to my color companion for the polychromos, and these are the numbers of pencils to correspond to these colors. So I will go pull those out and those will be my base colors. I can always bring in more colors if I need to, but those will be my base for this page. So let me just go grab those pencils and I'll tell you what they are. Okay, using my polychromos pencils, the colors corresponding to down here, according to Sarah Renee, is 158, deep cobalt green, phthalo green 161, cool gray number 1, which is 230, permanent carmine 126, whoa, and the last one is caput mortuum 169. So these 5 pencils will be my base. I can pull other pencils in if I want. A color palette is there for your ease of picking colors, not to restrict you so that you feel constrained. So that's how I treat color palettes, and I'm going to slip a couple of pages behind the picture to cushion the pencils, and I'm going to start to put down some color. I'll do a little bit of coloring on my own here for a bit just to get some stuff going, and then I will come back and we'll do a little bit of questions about your favorite childhood memories. Okay, I'm just bringing you along to do some of my coloring, and we'll have a little bit of a chat while I'm doing this. There is 100 or so leaves on this page, so this is a very repetitive process. So what I will do is just do some coloring and have a little bit of chat with you if that's okay, and I'll ask the question that's been on my mind. So yesterday's video we had 4 questions in total, so I hope we can we certainly won't have more than that. But today is about, after yesterday I was thinking about, you know, what was some of my favorite memories from my childhood, and specifically what was the best or most memorable gift that you ever got as a child. I think we all have that one special item that we kind of remember receiving as a kid, and so I just wondered what yours was, and I thought I'd share you mine. So I came from a family of 6 kids plus my mom and dad, so that was 8 people in our family. We were not a wealthy family. We were average Canadian middle class family, or maybe a little bit lower than middle class economically. So Christmas, you know, for 6 kids is kind of hard on the parents, so we didn't have a lot of gifts, which is totally fine. We had a lot of fun, and the gifts that we did have, we were very thankful for. But the gift that stands out the most in my mind is when I was just a young girl in elementary school still, so, you know, probably around 6, maybe 7 years old, and I got an easy bake oven for Christmas, and it came with a whole box of packages of cakes and cookies that you would make up in the easy bake oven. Now, if you're not familiar with an easy bake oven, Google it for sure, because then you'll probably have a chuckle and appreciate this. But it was a fake oven, or it was a little oven, but it cooked things using a light bulb. So it's probably, you know, a 40 or 60 watt light bulb, and you would put it in these little metal pans, you would slide it in, and it would bake a tiny cake. And it was just the best thing that I ever got, and I loved that thing. I have no idea where it is now, but I know that I spent a lot of time making little cakes and passing them out to my family. So that was a favorite memory for me. And to this day, I kind of wish we had a little girl. I had a boy, so no easy bake ovens for my son, although I'm sure that many little boys would treasure that as well. So yeah, so my question to you is, tell me about one of the memorable things you have from your childhood, whether it's a gift or just your favorite memory from your own childhood from Christmas time. And with that, I'll keep coloring along here and get a bit more done. I'm just using the 2 different greens, doing a little bit of shadowing on the kind of the stem area of each leaf, and then just going it over, so each leaf will be slightly shaded. Bring you up a little bit, and then I will do the apples and see how that goes, and I'll continue on. I'll zoom you out of it and you can appreciate how many leaves are on this page. I'll zoom you out all the way. So all the way along here we will be having leaves. So quick little update. I am getting some done. I have switched to not just the green, but I thought I'd do the red as well as I'm going around. I also went and I pulled out, so Faber-Castell, the Polychromos, I have a few of the Pitt Artist pens, and they are a India ink, and they are a brush felt type small nib, and I pulled out the number 230, which is the same as this, so I'm using the same color palette, and then I pulled out the pink carmine 127. I didn't have the 126, which is permanent carmine, but they are close enough, so I've just added this Pitt Artist pen to help me move things along a little faster. And I've done all of the, zoom you in a bit, I've done all of the small little apples in the Pitt Artist pen, and I'm doing the larger apples in the pencils so that I can do a little bit more shading and stuff. But it is just the garland around there, so I don't want to spend, you know, too much time. I would like to get these pages all done in a single day, so anything that can kind of help me along the way is always welcome. So I'll continue coloring these larger apples here, and that's where I'm at right now. I just thought I'd bring you back and show you where I'm at. The only other item that I probably will add at some point will be my blender pen that I use, which is Gamsol in an empty Copic sketch marker. So if I need to use a blender, that's what I'll be using. So as I keep doing this, I'll get a little bit more done, then I'll come back and we'll have some more time for chatting. I find it a little bit difficult to keep my voice up at a relatively good volume while I'm coloring, because I tend to end up talking softly while I'm thinking. So I did notice that in some of my past videos, and I am working hard to fix that. So let me keep coloring and I'll be right back. Well, that took a little bit of time, let me tell you. I have finished the apple and leaf garland around the entire page, and now I'm going to zoom you in and we're going to do this hanging decoration. It kind of looks like a garland swag kind of thing, so we'll work on that. I did pull out a red gel pen just to do this heart, and then we will continue on. And I also have pulled out another Pitt pen green, just to add a little bit of a different green to this swag here. So we'll do that, and then we'll have a little chat. So there we go. Okay, so as I'm coloring this, I just thought we could talk a little bit about your favorite winter activities. I'm going to talk about the favorite winter activities from my childhood or earlier. I'm currently on oxygen 24/7, so I do not do a lot outside. When I'm outside, my oxygen tubing tends to get very cold and brittle, so I don't spend a lot of time outside anymore. But as a child, we did all kinds of fun outdoor things, skating, snowshoeing, skiing. When you live in Canada, we have winter for about 7 months out of the year, so you really do need to learn how to live and do activities outside. So we did tobogganing. That's riding down a hill on snow on some kind of crazy carpet or wooden toboggan. We did that as kids quite often. And when I had a child myself, we spent quite a bit of time doing snow angels outside and building snow forts and snowmen. So I guess my favorite activity is building snowmen and snow forts. And out here we do get quite a bit of snow, so sometimes we can get a foot of snow after one snowfall. So there's quite a bit of snow to make snow forts, and they last long, since we have our winter going on forever. So it's not uncommon to build a snow fort at the beginning of the year, and after every snowfall you just keep adding to it, and kind of think of an igloo, and that's kind of how we would build our snow fort. So as I continue to color this, comment down below what your favorite winter December type activity is. I know not everybody lives in an area that has snow in December, so if you never have snow, then what do you do in December? And if you do have snow, what's your favorite wintertime activity? I'll keep coloring this while you think about that and write some comments down below, and then I'll be back with more done, and then we will move on. We've got a bird, and I'll zoom you out a little bit to see the whole picture. This boot appears to be a present for this dog. That's what I've kind of figured out. It's got a dog toy in here, and what looks like probably some dog snacks, and the boot itself is an old boot that looks like it's seen better days, so it's definitely ready for a dog to play with. So that is what this page is all about, and we'll just keep doing some more coloring. Okay, we're back, and we have finished doing the evergreen boughs with the Pitt Artist pen. Now I have picked up some Sparkle Pop gel pens, and we're just completing some of the ornaments here. We've got some silver bells happening on this thing, and then we've got some ornaments, and there's the heart to finish and a bird. So I'm not really sure what the bird's all about, but we'll have to figure out what to color for the bird. So in the meantime, we will work on some of these other things. So I've got a, it's a Crazy Pop, and it's a goldy green color. So I'm gonna put that here, just so it blends in a little bit with the evergreen color. I'll zoom you in and you can see what that looks like. There you go. So it kind of has a yellow undertone, but it has green glitter on it. So it's kind of an interesting one. So I will use a different silver. I'll use a Jelly Roll silver for these bells here. So the glitter Sparkle Pop is quite glittery, and so I like that. And then this Jelly Roll is more of a matte metallic. So I'll just do it in two tones of silver. So I hope everybody is having a great day. Last little bell here. Hope you're not having weather issues if you are in a climate where it's wintry and blustery. Winter storms sometimes, well, summer storms are not great either, so I guess storms in general are not my favorite. Okay, I'm going to zoom you out just a little bit so we can catch both ends of that garland. Okay, now for the bird, I think I'm going to do it in a very light blue. Just grab a Pitt Artist pen, and then I will use the gray, because gray is one of the colors that I do have available. So I'll do the bird in blue and gray. I'm not quite sure what the bird is all about for Christmas, and we will add some red to the bows here. I've got a few bows, so we'll just put the red on the striped part. Adds a little bit of color. Okay. So I hope you're enjoying this series. This is day 6 of 24 days, so we're still got a long way to go, but it is helping pass the time of December, so that's kind of fun. Okay. There you go. Okay. I'll keep working on these ornaments, and then when we get to doing the boot and the dog next, I'll bring you back. So see you shortly. So I'm continuing on coloring the boot, and I've selected to grab the Caput Mortuum. So that is this color. So it's kind of a burgundy browny color, and that is the color I'm going to do the boot. The boot is an older boot that appears to be a gift for our little doggy friend here. So I will be doing that. And as I'm coloring this, the next question on my question list is, are you a shopper that's organized and finished by this time, so December the 6th, or are you somebody that shops until the very end? Are you somebody that has already done your shopping, and if you are already done, when did you start? Do you start on Black Friday with all the madness of sales, or do you start earlier in the year when you find things on sale? So just kind of a, what kind of shopping do you do? Do you even do shopping? This year we're not doing a lot of shopping. We did do Advent calendars for everybody this year. So instead of doing a bunch of presents, I just did an advent calendar. So gives everybody something, a little item to look forward to every day. And we have 3 different advent calendars going on in the house. So everybody has one kind of tailored to their interests. My son has the ink vent advent calendar, so he really enjoys fountain pens. So it's an advent calendar with fountain pen ink. My daughter-in-law to be is having a caffeine-free David's Tea advent calendar, and I purchased the L'Occitane calendar for myself. So different bath products and hand lotions and stuff like that. So just something a little different. We have never done that before, but something different this year. So comment below what your shopping habits or style is, and that's question number 3. So I'm sticking with the color palette, and I've selected to use the darker gray that I pulled in, plus the lighter gray and then the brown. So in order to smooth things out, I'm also selecting my blender pen, and I'm just dissolving the binder and pigment to make the colors a little smoother. So that's where I'm at right now, just blending out these areas. And then when we're done with the outside of the boot, there's a few dog toys on the inside, and that will bring us to the last question for this video. And sticking with kind of the gift thing, but now we're talking about dogs. Do you purchase or include your dogs or your cats on your Christmas gift list? So do your puppies or cats, or maybe you have a snake, I don't know what kind of animal you have, but do you include them on your Christmas gift list? So do they get a special treat or a new dog toy? Comment below. My dogs definitely get included. They are family. I call them my fur babies, and definitely pets are part of any family if they are part of your family. So I just wondered, and that's the last question for this video. I hope that these questions in the videos are something fun to just get you thinking about your own ideas and your own items, and gives you something to entertain you, and you get to know me a little better. I get to know my fellow colorists a little better. So you don't have to answer, of course, if you don't want, but it just even gives you something to think about on your own as you're listening to me as I color. So I love reading people's comments, but if it's not something that you like to do, that's fine. You don't need to comment, but feel free to read through the comments that others have left. It's always interesting to learn more about people in our community, and that's something I really enjoy about the coloring community, is that it's a common hobby all over the world, and it really unites people. So I'll keep coloring this, and I'll come back when we've got a bit more done. Working on the toy area of this boot present for the dog, and I just thought I'd show you what I'm using. I am using a Pit Artist pen, and I mentioned that it has a fine felt type nib. It's not a brush, it is definitely felt. It uses India ink. It generally does not bleed through paper unless you've done quite a few layers of it, but I've got a protective paper behind here anyways. But I will show you that it's not bleeding through, and it is a little faster than color pencil. Color pencil is the slowest medium out there, so this allows me to still stick with the color palette and get something else done. I can still use the regular pencil along with it when I want to do the same color but a different shading. So I just use them in combination with each other. That is something nice about Faber-Castell, is the numbers do correspond with each other, and the color palette goes throughout their whole line. So their watercolors and their markers and their color pencils all use the same numbering system. So I can darken up a few spots, and then I'm going to do some glitter for the stars. So I'll keep working on that. Just thought I'd bring you back for a few peeks of how I'm attempting to finish his little gift. Working on the evergreen sprig here, or pine sprig. I'm using the same color, Cobalt Deep Green 158. I used this color on the garland, but just as shading, so this color hasn't been used as its own color really until this time. So it was part of the original palette. So just doing each little needle, and it'll look good once it's all done. A lot of needles though. So that's where we're going with this. Okay, just finishing up the boot here. Bring you in a little bit more. I added another color. So I had added this blue over here for this little bird, and I am going to make this bird a blue and gray as well. So I pulled in the color Sky Blue 146 and I put it there so that I have a color for the bird. I am going to use this gray, the light gray, to do the what I would consider the fur or fringe up at the top of this boot, and then I am going to cover it with some glitter paste, so just to make it a little bit sparkly, and that will be that for the boot. And then we used strictly the one green here for this, and then I used the blender pen to blend out all of the areas, and some silver Signo gel pen for the little hooks that your laces hook onto. So that's the boot. I will add the glitter paste, and next I am working on the little bird, and he is going to be blue and gray. Progress update for you. Just thought I'd bring you back while I'm working on the wood here. The color I'm using is one of the original 5 from our palette, which is Caput Mortem 169. Just working on the trim around the dog door. I have completed the tile along the floor. I pulled in a Zig Clean color gray to add for the tile, and I'm using the Caput Mortem for the kind of the darker accents. So along the top there's some accents here, as well as around the actual doggy door itself. The only item that I kind of haven't figured out what to color is our furry friend. So as I'm thinking about that, I thought maybe we should also think of a dog name. So thinking up a dog name. This guy looks like a fun furry guy. Lots of energy by the wagging of his tail here. So I'll think of that dog name as I'm adding all these little accent pieces. Any suggestions? Leave them down in the comments. See you shortly. Welcome back to a progress update. We have completed 90% of the picture now. All that's left is our little furry friend here. Have you thought of a good name for this little guy? I'm thinking maybe Scamp or something like that. He looks like a feisty little dog. I am going to give him some color. Trying to think of what his nose would be. I think his nose is going to be a gray. We'll have to pull in a color for his tongue. We'll do light pink. And then we're going to use some browns, and we'll use burnt ochre, raw umber, and brown ochre probably, and maybe throw in a bit of yellow, light yellow ochre, which are some of the colors that I already used around here. So I'll color him up, and we'll give him blue eyes. What the heck? And we'll color him, and so this will be Scamp, and we'll be right back. And here we are for a last look. A reminder that this page in German says, "I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to pick it up all year round," a quote from Charles Dickens. And here is the finished picture of our little guy Scamp peeking through a dog door at his Christmas present, which is an old boot filled with some dog toys. So this was a very detailed page, not a lot of glitter, just a little bit of glitter. And but overall, I had fun. I hope you did too. I look forward to reading your comments down in the comment section. And just a recap of all of the supplies I used. These were the numerous polychromos pencils we used, some gel pens, and some Pitt pens. And this was palette number 180 from the Color Cube. Thanks for joining me today on day 6, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on day 7. Bye-bye.